empty stadiums and overpacked schedules. The effects of COVID-19 on the world of football. And BPL fans and managers aren't happy. Now we look at numerous players being injured right before the international break and during the season. Our panel will look and dissect how football can normalize itself in these trying times. Guys, Ole, Pep, Klopp, Mourinho, they look at their squad and they say important players, succumbing to injuries or they're not available because they contracted COVID-19. And you might look at it as excuses, but these are reasons why a lot of teams aren't where they are or where they're expected to be, and why managers have headaches in setting up against teams or making preparations for big matches. Ole was livid. He expected the EPL to make adjustments from his travelings in the Champions League and to start so early for BPL, which is a marquee match and a big TV match. The BPL is a showcase, and you see Sky Sports and BT Sports invest heavily. So understand why that was done, but it is tricky. We want things to be as normal as can, and we have a schedule that give us matches right back after each other, and as a fan, I enjoy it. As in, I don't have to worry about matches clashing again. But this has actually put strain on players and actually bodies that manage football. And are we asking too much of these players?
No, they gonna again disagree with one thing, right? So you made a point, they say understand why they do it, right? So I don't understand why they do it, especially this weekend. So you look at this weekend now. Manchester United play Champions League on Thursday, right? Wednesday, sorry. My apologies, sorry.
I understand why you get this.
I'm getting ahead of myself, man, because I was saying they come back, they return on Thursday. So they played on Wednesday and they had to travel to Turkey, right? Not an easy travel. Mm-hmm. And then they return on Thursday and again play the first match Saturday morning, right? While you have Liverpool and City playing a Sunday game, and both sides would have played from Tuesday. Now we're going into an international break. You can make adjustments to the schedule. Because I was saying to the guys earlier, remember where we are now, unprecedented times. The league has to be more creative in how they manage the schedule. Because yes, TV rights and the money behind it, but if you have players start breakdown and big sides are not at their best, then the whole concept behind TV rights is through the window. Because if you can't provide the entertaining fixtures throughout the entire season, remember we're only 8 games in the season, We're only 8 games in the season. Some sides have only played 7 games. I think City played 7, Man U played 7. So it's not like we're halfway through the season or on the business end of the season where you're saying, boy, you have to keep these. This is a title deciding fixture and you want to premiere it at a certain time. You don't have to. You can make adjustments. Manchester United playing against an Everton side. There are no matches next week. There are no matches on Monday. So there's not much to contend with there. You can just say, okay guys, here what we're going to do. Because we know you're under pressure, because we're already under pressure with the whole 3 matches in every week and Champions League and European football back to back every week. You can make some adjustments and say, okay guys, here what we're going to do. Liverpool game, we're going to put it to the first match, Saturday morning then. Right, or Saturday afternoon their time. So the first game, and then we're going to push the Man U match to Sunday. And that can help. That additional 1 day can give the side some rest. You understand? Give players some time to recover. And especially going into an international break, you have an overloaded schedule from the league and the Champions League, and now you're going into an international break where you're playing more matches than you normally play. Now, in normal times, international break is always a time where managers are saying, boy, they wonder who they get back, who can come back fit. Because, there's always some injuries in the international break. No, that's not the only concern because you have COVID now. So you probably have a player who goes out for international football and contracts COVID and is out for 2 weeks before or however long. And these matches are important coming back from international breaks. So you contend with injuries and you contend with COVID. The league has to do more to prepare to protect the players and to protect the clubs. You understand? Because it's not sustainable. Like I said, only 8 matches in the league, 8 matches. 8 matches. Then you have to do a little bit more. You have to be more creative and adjust the schedule. At the start of the season, I'm sure they would have sat down and said, how we're going to approach the league. And if they have any amount of, if they're thinking ahead, right? They should be saying, all right, they will have to make provisions to be able to adjust schedules, and the teams have to all agree. If either we're going to play football this way or we're not going to play the football at all. Because outside of just regular injuries through tackling or whatever, remember, all players have this thing when they enter the red zone. When they overwork, and they have to take a break to give the body some time to recover. Now, if you're taking a 1 week break, that's 3 matches they're missing. It could be 1 crucial Champions League game and 2 league games that could be crucial. Now look at Man U in the week where they played Chelsea on the weekend, and they had PSG, I think, or Leipzig in the week, or next league match a week before. Now imagine a player in the red zone and miss those 3 games. That can decide how they end up in the Champions League, if they actually progress from the first round or not, and it can impact. Well, it's early days in the league, but it can have an impact on how they progress throughout the league. So the league has to do a little bit more because the players are overworked and the schedule is not helping.
So what I'll say, Danny, I agree with you, but I can see why they do it, because they don't really care about the players. It's more about money. And you say, is it hurting the game in terms of us? Yeah, probably. But aren't you entertained when you see Aston Villa beat Liverpool 7-2? That's a question, because the smaller sides benefit from it.
Or Aston Villa Arsenal.
Or Aston Villa Arsenal. That's
Too soon.
I'm kind of shocked. Why you jump all the way to Liverpool?
Kevin,
Okay.
too soon.
But they are trying to be nice and decent about it. But
Okay.
Aston Villa, Liverpool, right? 7-2, and you look at such a score from Aston Villa. No fans in the ground, but more importantly, sides like Aston Villa get at least 1 week to rest, while Liverpool now, even with 25 players or whatever, they have to play midweek.
And traveling.
And they're playing Champions League, the highest level of football, right? So, and they're traveling, as you rightly say. So, your best players you're going to demand from them, every 2 to 3 days.
Yeah.
So, when you see something like Manchester United play in Turkey on Wednesday, they leave Thursday, come over, so they can't train Wednesday, and then they're playing, early match relative to scheduling on a Saturday,
Everton side,
which is Everton. But at the same time, you look and you see Man City and Liverpool in Champions League play on a Tuesday and then play Sunday.
And it's a late match.
And it's a late match on a Sunday, right? So what it pretty much tells you is that, all right, at the end of the day, we want to ensure that everybody can watch Man City, Liverpool. We want it to be a featured match, so you play it on a Sunday. While Man U, Everton is a big match, but them just have to go figure it out. So players and coaches, are definitely not going to be happy about that. Mm-hmm. So I think that's definitely a problem. And I think they have to be, as Danny said, give them credit for starting back the league and working through it and ensure that you have a safe league in the COVID empire. But you still have more work to do in terms of scheduling and protecting the assets of the game, which are the players.
So what I'll say is that I agree with both points, but it's always been the case in England, right? Yeah. Players and managers who come from different leagues for years have been saying why we don't have a winter break, right? Mm-hmm. And in the winter is when England have most matches
in Christmas,
right?
Yeah.
And the revenues go up the most. And Arsene Wenger cried about it for years. Jose Mourinho cried about it for years. And I think them just recently decided to them have like a 1 week break or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's because of COVID. It's because of how quickly the league started back.
Yeah.
So it's just a contingency to prevent.
I think they made it before COVID.
Yeah, I think them actually make a structural change to it. But not to the extent that other leagues do it, right? Now, at the end of the day, when the assets get hurt to a certain extent, it also benefits the entertainment value. Now, we are even discussing the how Liverpool are going to cope without Van Dijk and so on. And as Lane said, make the little teams a little bit more competitive. Because if you look at the start of the season, and if you listen to most pundits, what they'll tell you is that when you look at the table now, things will start to normalize when the plethora of matches slow down to an extent and you start to have 1 match per week, and then you'll start to see some of the...
But when will that be though?
Soon enough.
No,
Soon
it won't
enough.
be enough, Kevin. You know why? Because of when the league started, you think about it. How many Champions League fixtures you have left?
Yeah, it's going to get worse actually.
You know, you're actually going to play Champions League. So, go straight down to December, right?
But you know, so it's the Champions League is a problem, really, you know, because usually we don't. I play 3 Champions League matches already.
Yeah.
Usually it's not that fast, right?
Because there's normally a 1 week break between Champions League in the group stage.
And then I think what they're doing, right? And there are a lot of things they could have thought about when they restart the league and, you know, to kind of decide how the season would go. But what they're trying to do is, so all of the matches that they lost during COVID time, they're going to try to get back all of them. International matches, these long international breaks.
Which is fine.
No, but it's problematic.
But that's why you have to, and that's why you have to put some more thinking and thought there, because like I said, you could be being penny-wise and pound-foolish, because I said, okay, we want to see. You are saying that you want, it's entertainment value to see Liverpool get beaten by Aston Villa 7-2, right? Fine, one can argue that point. But do you want to see a Liverpool side without a Salah or Mane or Firmino? Is that the value that they're going to add to the league? Because no offense to the smaller sides, right? But at the end of the day, it's the big players that make the league. When Man City is playing without Aguero, everybody's saying, when is Aguero coming back? When they play without KDB or Kevin De Bruyne, everybody's saying, when De Bruyne come back and they're going to look a better side. You understand?
True.
Arsenal can't play a minute without Aubameyang. You understand? If Manchester United is missing Bruno Fernandes, God forbid, I know every Manchester United fan is going to say, when is Bruno coming back? At the end of the day, fans, the value to the league is the big players. Because they are the ones that drive revenue.
So there are a couple of issues, right? And not that I disagree with them, but here what some of the issues are. So there isn't a unified voice versus the scheduling problems, right? It's the big clubs coming out and talking, and then the smaller clubs are saying, look here, these guys have 25 world-class players, right? We have 7. Not Arsenal, but 5. And then say, we have 7. They must say, look here, we are making do with 7. What they need to do is rotate more and so on. And they're not crying out, you know, because at the end of the day, they don't face that problem. And it benefits them. And the next thing too, in England, TV rights split equally, right? It is... So they have a say, and for them they're like, hey,
we're fine.
You have good problems. That's what they're saying. They're saying you have good problems. We like those problems. Figure it out.
Yeah, and that leads me to another point. You're talking about the big clubs versus the small clubs, because remember when the all the sides in Europe are looking at, okay, do we go with the 5 substitutions per game, or do we cut about the 3? And to your point, because it was a vote, I think every side had 1 vote. The smaller sides would have voted against it because they're saying, okay, we don't have a squad to manage that. But they all have a 25-man squad. There's 25 different calibers.
So the truth is, it's not that they don't have a squad, but imagine playing even at Chelsea, right?
Yeah.
And Chelsea have 5 changes.
Yeah.
Right? With the depth of that squad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Your squad with 5 changes, you could have given me all 10.
No, man, I get that, you know. I understand that, but what I'm saying is at the end of the day, why do the smaller clubs have equal TV rights? And let me tell you why I'm asking the questions. The amount of revenue that the league is generating is because of the big clubs and the bigger players. That's the truth. They are benefiting from the fact that you have a Kevin De Bruyne in the league. You have a Eden Hazard in the league.
I think the overall league benefits from that. Because we see what it's like when TV rights is not split evenly. You have a Real Madrid and a Barcelona who have 90% of the TV rights. Them alone.
No, man, I get that, you know, but what I'm saying,
benefits.
the amount of revenue
but to be fair to the smaller clubs, and not playing devil's advocate here, alright, Chelsea have, say, 25 quality players, right? Timo Werner started every match, right? Now, Lampard don't have to start Timo Werner every match. Now, that's what the smaller clubs are saying. They're saying, look here, use up your squad. You have a big squad, use it up. We don't have a choice. We have to start at Danny Ings every match till he's injured.
No, but what I say to you, you know, and I get that, you know, Kevin, but you see, one thing we talk about even a couple of months ago or a couple of weeks ago we've been talking about is the fact that depth of quality, the quality is more deep in the league now. So it's not like it's only the top 6 that have decent players. So I get the point where you're saying, however, Kevin, at the end of the day, nobody benefits if the top sides in England aren't performing. Nobody. That's in the smart clubs. Because they're thinking no and say, okay, yeah, man, because what they're thinking, okay, it gives them a better chance to avoid relegation. It gives them a better chance to probably sneak in the top 10.
Yeah, Danny, I agree with you. You know, but Danny,
what does it do for the league?
The thing about it is, you cannot make the rules for suit 5 teams, right? And that's the point, because hold on. We look at even at Everton, I would say the quality deeper in the season. Richardson out and James out and poor on a form, losing 3 games, right? They don't have the depth of squad. So whilst I agree that we have to do something for protect players overall, it cannot be something where you're saying, I'm giving these teams with a bigger, deeper, better squad more advantage.
No, and it's not more advantage, Kevin. What I'm saying is that you're not risking players getting injured. Because at the end of the day, so yes, you're gonna say, all right, it's five or 6 top clubs in the league, and you have 14 or 15 other clubs. But if you look at who contributes more to the league, I can guarantee that 5 or 6 top club contribute more than 50% of what the league is now. Because if you look at when somebody's talking about the Premier League, nobody's saying, I want to go to England, I want to watch Sheffield. And no offense to Sheffield. And I want to watch a West Brom.
But the truth is, when they talk about the English league, what they'll say is that you can always get a contest regardless of who them playing. Spanish league, I don't want to watch probably Atletico Madrid outside Real Madrid, and you're not going to see for instance a Valencia losing to a Hetafe or something like that.
It's happening now.
Well, what I'll say, right, because it's very good points, but to be fair, right, if we think about to some extent the long-term benefit of the league, which is Daniel's point, you're right to an extent, Kevin, but how many people wake up on a Saturday or Sunday morning to watch
Sheffield
West Brom versus Burnley? You're not going to kill yourself to do it.
Everybody who supports those teams.
Yeah, but how many international...
Hold on. I get what you're saying. And the fact of the matter is, it's different in all leagues, right?
Yeah.
If they run a survey in Spain, and 90% of the football fans in Spain support either Real Madrid or Barcelona, regardless of where they're from.
But they still support the local club.
What I'll say to you,
when them come to town,
the TV rights, right, are split very equal.
Yeah.
And international fan base, local fan base, even local fan base is still, I don't know the stats, but I'll guess, especially internationally, it's probably split between the top 6, Arsenal, Chelsea, Man U, and so on, right? And they have clubs winning, and they have matches that you want to see. Man City, Liverpool, Everton, stuff like
Kevin,
that.
if you go play football, I'm going to put a question to you. If you go, because this happened to me and Len one time, you go play football and see a ball and roll out in a Swansea jersey, what do you think?
I was the one actually made that point, right?
Yeah.
You remember, you ready? Hold on. So what did you think?
Yeah, I think that man know somebody at Swansea.
Exactly,
right?
because nobody...
Fine, we not argue that, But what I'm saying is, gents, one, we have to find a way to protect the players, not arguing that.
Yeah.
However, we cannot find a way to protect the players to benefit people who are already wealthy. That is what I'm saying.
But look at all the other leagues, right? So I get your point, But all the other leagues that have 5 changes, Champions League allow 5 changes, right? I think Europa League allow 5 changes as well. So the truth is, right?
The vote probably not 1 for 1 in those leagues.
And that's the problem.
But the federation decides.
Because at the end of the day, Kevin, even though we're going to say it may be more balanced in terms of who generates revenue, I don't think it is as balanced to say, well, Man U vote is the same vote as West Brom vote. And it's no disrespect to West Brom. They're doing decent enough as a club, but Man U obviously going to give more revenue to the Premier League. Chelsea is going to give more revenue.
Yeah, when somebody talking about the EPL, they're talking about a Manchester United and Liverpool from back in the days. In more recent time, talk about a City.
So we're not arguing that. But what I'll say is the difference with the English league and these other leagues, right? If Juventus plays Udinese, you won't watch it. Any at all. You'll watch Juventus versus Inter, AC, or those teams. In this league, right?
Yeah.
There's a value to watching every match your team plays.
You know why? But you know why though? But let me tell you though as well, Tino. And when I was in, I went on a trip to Europe once, right? And when I was there, I was talking to
all the fans know, yeah. Well travelled.
You're the man, sir. Yeah.
Watford picked them back.
Yeah, no, it did.
Yeah, the 200 on
Watford. Hurtful. Anyways, right? Watford get relegated though. Imagine that. So anyways, right? So I remember I was in Amsterdam, right? I was talking to a fellow, a football fan, and he was talking about a local match. We might not watch these matches as much as other people, but they still have full stadiums, you know. People are still going out to watch these smaller sizes because they still have their fan base. Because at the end of the day, you go to a Watford game and you go Vicarage Road, right? It's a very, very small stadium compared to like a Emirates, which is down the road. Very, very, very small. I mean, you're there, you can literally touch the field, right? So, yes, they get equal share in the TV rights, but in terms of the revenue generating ability of the clubs, they are not the same.
So we're not arguing that point, right? Let me see if we can explain what I say. No, fine.
No,
so look on like them other league. Honestly, half the time Real Madrid or Barcelona play, but just check the score. It come in on my phone. I'm not watching Real Madrid versus some little E that side, right?
Yeah.
I will watch almost all the side that the big teams play.
Yeah.
Right? Regardless of who they play, 'cause anything can on the day.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that these teams are, one, them have more money, right? Them generate more revenue, as I said, based on them stadium, when they have the stadium, right? And them have a wider coverage because outside of the world, these are the matches people want to see. These teams have more ability for rotate players than even a little team. So I'm saying, one, we have to protect the players, not arguing that. But at the same time, you cannot create a system where you create like an aristocrat body, and it's happening in other leagues. And you diminish the overall quality of your league.
No, I totally understand. I totally agree with that, right? But I guess my difficulty is, yes, there has to be a vote. But two, the only thing is that, does it benefit the league overall, right? I would question that because you're hurting more players than you're helping, right? Even English Premier League now, Trent Alexander-Arnold is out, right? Plays for England, so that actually hurt England himself. You have, if you look today and say Tarkowski out, right, from Burnley, how much does that hurt you unless you're a proper Burnley fan? And then we watch English.
Burnley.
Hold on, we watch English Premier League all the time because we have all the matches available based on the cable package. But in England and so on, they don't have that. So would you take up money like how them have to pay pay-per-view and pay £15 to watch Burnley versus West Brom as opposed to...
I'm talking about Burnley versus West Brom, you know.
No, I'll make another point just add to that, Kevin. How entertaining is watching a Liverpool side without Mane and Salah? How entertaining is it to watch a Man City side without Kevin De Bruyne and Aguero?
So I'm agreeing with those points, but what I'm saying, you have to protect the players but not disadvantage the other teams, right? Because what I'm saying to you is, what I'm saying is, I'll watch a Liverpool West Brom in England. But I will never watch a Real Madrid and somebody
I get that,
else.
How are you disadvantaging them by protecting players in general? Because it's not Liverpool's fault why they're in Europe. Well, it's their fault, but it's their success, right? They're in Europe. So you still have to protect them. So you're not disadvantaged. You're not giving them an unfair advantage. You know, what you're doing is that you're protecting the players from injury and preserving the league. You're not shifting the schedule to say, okay, we're going to ensure that Liverpool...
No, man, nothing wrong with shifting the schedule, you know. So that's perfectly fine. No, man, we agree on that. I will protect the players there. But I understand the vote where, I guess, probably 14 members of the league say, yo, we're not going to use 5 change. Because Chelsea, with 5 changes, is trouble for me.
But you know, it's self-interest why they do that though, right?
Exactly.
It's smart, so everybody's going to be self-interest. Like, they're not thinking about interest of the league. They're thinking about themselves.
But that is how democracy works. You vote for what you want. Now, if them they look and say, yo, you know, say 5 change could make a big difference to me. And not that 5 change. And not that 5 changes wouldn't make a difference for them, you know. But they know that 5 changes make a bigger difference for a big side.
Yeah.
So I think that's
Kevin,
why they vote.
But you know the problem though, a big side is still gonna have an advantage, you know, because they still are better players, because they have more money. So you're not changing that, you know. All we're saying, put some more creativity and thinking behind how you protect players. Because if you reach to January and we hear say, okay, for Manchester United, Martial out, Rashford out, and Bruno Fernandes out. How much value is that to watch? If you hear say Chelsea missing Kai Havertz, Timo Werner.
We have a decent enough squad.
No, yeah, fine, fair. You have a luxury. So that's how you can
But we're actually missing 2 players right now and rotate the squad. This is what needs to be 2 key players out and rotate and get the result. This is what needs to happen across the league, right?
Not everybody can spend 300 million on a coach.
But you spend about that still, you know. You spend about 300 million, you know.
You shot right.
When?
You spend about 300 million
Over the last 3 years.
Over the last 3
I
seasons.
spend the money last season, you know.
Yeah.
So if
we
you're 150 per season.
From January,
but for that joke aside.
After I spent 150 in the last 10 years.
I agree with the man them, Zine, but what I'm saying, the creativity after being away with no disadvantage in the league. Not because we have 6 top teams. Not because we have 6 top teams, we are going to make everything benefit.
So I agree with that, you know, but one argument I'll make here, right? They could say, well, them man need for rotate. Why the big team never say, well, you need to buy better quality.
They
right?
can't afford it.
You get equal TV rights, right? You get the money to do
Premier
it.
League clubs, you know, get over $100 million every transfer every year now.
So you get
the side no. Even the side that is relegated. No.
Guys. You made the point earlier in terms of the revenue generation. You know, say
no,
Burnley
what I'm saying.
Remember the Swansea jersey business.
But let me give you a joke.
But let me give you a joke. And the one jersey that left.
But let me give you a joke, right? You know, with COVID right now, the bigger sides are more impacted from a revenue perspective because of what? The gate sales and everything, because size are still a means to them, right? Even with because the smaller clubs still have a TV, right? $100 million still putting in a decent position relative to the big clubs, you know, because $100 million don't mean as much to them because they have a higher wage bill, you have a bigger stadium, you have more staff to pay, so they are still impacted financially. The smaller clubs actually are in a better position to sign more now.
But they are more equipped to deal with it. See? I mean, Arsenal, they got some people, but everybody I feel it. See? The small club, them I feel it too. Because the small club, they make a lot of money when they play the big team, them, you know, particularly on the away ticket sales. Which is why you see a team get crazy over facing a Man United in FA Cup, even though they know they're going to lose. Because it's a big revenue generation for them. So I'm saying everybody is impacted and we have to come up with the solutions, but the solutions cannot favor the teams who are in the stronger position.
I agree with you, but I don't think the 5 sub, and that's what I'll finish up with. I don't think adjusting the schedule or even the 5
not arguing about the schedule.
Yeah, man.
I think the 5 sub.
I don't think so because England is the only league that have a problem with it. Everybody's saying we have to do it to maintain the players because if we don't have players, if we don't have top quality players, our revenue is going to fall because you don't have anybody in the stadium. You need to have your top players on the TV every week playing because that is what's going to have somebody get up 7:30 in the morning and watch a game. Because if Man U is playing at Everton without James, without Calvert-Lewin who's on form, Decore or Alan, then why am I watching that game?
So I agree with you. But
so you need to see them every week.
In England, it is easier to watch. See? If Real Madrid and Barcelona lose them top players, them can call off the league. Which is why them stop Messi from. If Messi catch COVID, don't watch the league. There's nothing there to watch.
Alright. Well,
fair point, but still disagree.
Some good points there, you know. A lot we agree on and some things we disagree on. Ask you for your comment. Do you agree with Danny or do you side with Kevin? Once again, we ask you to like, share, and subscribe, and always click the notification bell so you know when we release a new video. Thank you.